What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Joe Dirt. So this was a first time watch for me. This movie has never really been on my radar. I've known about it, but I never felt like checking it out. But I was talking to this girl at work the other day, and she mentioned this movie. She mentioned some funny scenes from it, and she was saying that she really liked it. So I'm like, I got that little social proof. I'm like, you know what? I might have to check this out. And it's on Tubi this month as I'm recording, and I haven't seen it on Tubi before, and it's leaving in 5 days. So I'm like, what the heck? I'm in the mood for a comedy. Let me check this out. And let me tell you, I had a great time with this. I thought this was an awesome movie. Super fun, super funny. Nothing wrong with it. There was nothing really that I disliked. It was just a fun, lighthearted comedy. Nice feel good movie. It was all good. There were quite a few funny, like standout funny moments. Like, this movie was honestly funnier than I expected. I didn't go in with like the greatest, like the highest expectations, but you know, it definitely exceeded my expectations, and it was just kind of like a nice lighthearted comedy. It had kind of a nice, um, feel good story, nice feel good ending, and it wasn't like, it's not one of those edgy, over the top R-rated comedies. It's like PG-13. It's just something light. It's like a good-natured, just silly comedy. It was great. So yeah, I mean, a big reason I did choose to check this out also is because the lead, Joe Dirt, is played by David Spade, and I think he's funny. I'm a fan of him and other stuff. I really like him in Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy is a classic, but just I like him in a bunch of other stuff. He's good in Grown Ups. You know, he's good in pretty much everything he's in. So that was another reason that I chose to check this out. And in addition to David Spade, you had a bunch of people. You had Christopher Walken is in this. He plays this mobster guy in Witness Protection. He was awesome. You got Kid Rock. He's like an antagonist. He's just this a-hole guy who's always messing with Joe Dirt. You got Kevin Farley, John Farley, and then for not he's in it pretty briefly, but you got Tyler Mane, who played Michael Myers in in Rob Zombie's Halloweens, which is awesome. I'm not the biggest fan of Rob Zombie's first Halloween, but I like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, which I know a lot of people hate that, but I don't know. I think it's kind of a interesting movie, and it's just a good slasher movie. There's a lot of good kills. That's like a brutal movie. But anyways, yeah, it was cool to see Tyler Mane, not in like a stunt role, and like he actually has lines and dialogue. So that was cool to see him. Yeah, so there. Those were just names that I wrote down in my notes. I'm not going to write paragraphs here. I just do kind of brief notes as a guide. There were so many other like notable actors that I recognized. So this was just a quick little list. But anyways, you had a fantastic cast. And you know what? I'm going to get into, before I get any further, I'm going to give you all a quick little plot summary. So you got the main character, Joe Dirt. He's kind of like a redneck guy. He's kind of down on his luck, and he is currently working as a janitor for this radio station. And the thing is, when he was 8 years old, his parents they were at the Grand Canyon. They were vacationing at the Grand Canyon, and his parents just totally ditched him. He doesn't know though if they ditched him or if they lost him or whatever the heck. He doesn't know what happened to them, but basically he's been searching for his parents. He's for quite a long time, and throughout that process all these wacky things have happened, but he's met friends along the way and had a lot of interesting experiences. So yeah, basically, in present day in the movie, he's working as a janitor at this radio station, like I said, but he's still trying to find his parents. And one day, someone sees him, and he's got this unique look. He's got this mullet, and he's got kind of a wacky signature look to him, where randomly one day one of the radio hosts just starts interviewing him, and they just find him so intriguing. So the way that the movie is set up is, present day, he's getting interviewed at this radio station, and he's kind of recalling all these events of him meeting people and all these wacky scenarios and him trying to find his parents. So it's a lot of flashbacks as he tells his story over the radio, and as he tells his story over the radio, like, everyone in America is just obsessed with him. They think he's a unique guy. They think he's kind of silly and funny, but at the same time they think he's kind of endearing. He has this positive attitude, and they want him to find his parents and get some resolution. So yeah, that's basically the basic plot. The basic premise is, throughout the movie, Joe's getting interviewed. He's telling his story. He's recalling past events. He still wants to find his parents. And then there's this, kind of love interest with this girl Brandy. So that's the basic plot. And now that I gave you all a little plot summary, I'm going to get into some of my standout moments. And these were just like the moments that these are just like what I thought were the funniest moments in the movie. So when at one point Joe, he's working at this school as a janitor, and there are these kids are doing something in their science class, and they accidentally make mustard gas, and they almost like die. Everyone in the school is like all passed out, and just the way the kid says it, he's like, "Oh no, it's deadly mustard gas." That was absolutely hilarious. And then later on, he finds his parents' house, and it's all decrepit and abandoned. And then there's this one gentleman, and he has this super thick accent. He's saying, "Home is what you make it," but it gets kind of lost in translation with this thick accent, and Joe keeps thinking he's saying something else, and he keeps repeating it, and that sequence is absolutely hilarious. There's this one instance where he meets this girl, and he thinks that she's his sister, and basically, he's like a redneck guy, so he's telling the story, and he's talking about, like, he gets with her and he thinks she's his sister, and then once he realizes that she's not his sister, he can't get it up. So and then they like role play, and she like pretends that he's his sister, because it's the whole redneck trope of, like, what do you get with your cousins or something. So that whole that whole sequence was pretty darn funny. And then there's this one character that kidnaps him, and they call him Buffalo Bob, which is supposed to be, Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. And after he gets rescued from Buffalo Bob's house, throughout the rest of the movie, everyone's always like, "Oh yeah, I heard what happened with you and Buffalo Bob," and he's like, "Nothing happened. What are you talking about? What do you mean? What happened between us? There's something might have happened." So I thought that was super funny. And then this might have been the best and just most out of left field moment in the movie, but Joe's talking with this little old lady, and she eventually hooks him up with a car, and just nonchalantly, just in passing, she just says, "Yeah, I just killed my husband and made it seem like it was an accident." That was the best. That's what I'm talking about. I was just so shocked. I was like, man, this movie just went there, dude. Like, it was just like the way she delivered it. It was so laid back and casual. Like, yeah, just killed my husband. I was not expecting it. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. So those are my standout moments. And I just have one more thing here on my notes. Just an overall kind of idea. So just kind of a recap of why I like this movie. I think it's funny, it's lighthearted, it means well, it's a nice feel good comedy. You got a nice cliche happy ending. Not hating, I'm just joking, but yeah, you got a nice happy ending. You get some resolution. I like the whole family aspect where like Joe, he's trying to find his family, and he eventually gets family. He gets this sense of home. He gets this sense of family without, like, it doesn't have to be his actual family. And you got all this, you got this message of staying positive. He faces so much adversity. I know this is just a silly comedy movie, but I'm telling you, it has a lot of heart. Like, there's this whole message of staying positive, and whatever happens to him, he just keeps on keeping on. And I like that type of message. It's a great message. This was a great feel good movie. I would definitely watch it again. There was just nothing wrong with it. It was funny. It had some heart. It had some nice little messages. Great cast. So I would definitely recommend it if you have not seen it. And like I said, that was the last thing I had in my notes. So I pretty much said everything that I wanted to say. So I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.